In a world governed by Fidel Castro, the Fidel Castro. Well, there must first be a prologue for this great new special report.
Before Castro was Batista, and before Batista was President Carlos Prios Ocares, ruling the democracy in Cuba. In 1952, the Ruben Florencio Batista Zaldivar overthrew him. Democracy was devastated. Tragic. Batista canceled the elections and dissolved all the political parties. Many might see that he fooled the people, increasing the minimum salary of public and private officers and workers, increasing commercial relations with the U.S., increasing taxes on Cuban citizens, and issuing a momentary era of prosperity. Isn't that right, Philip?
That's right, Phyllis. Batista bribed the military and governmental forces by giving them better treatment, better pensions, and better pay. The army regulated administration, life, and the policy of Cuba. Then Fidel Castro, launching a guerrilla group to reinstate democracy and free election, attacked the Moncada barracks in 1953. Riots broke out as the once supportive government neglected the resulting economic and social problems and turned their backs on the people. Oh, all those educated people. Batista removed the local government, halting public development and welfare, as well as allowing mafias, gambling, and corruption to flourish in Cuba. In 1955, Batista censored media, legalized violence, and suspended the rights of citizens. Curfews were instilled, and no one was allowed out at night without repressive actions or imprisonment. Then, as Fidel Castro's guerrilla group accumulated many victories against the government, Batista left Cuba and Fidel Castro gained power.
Here's Jerry live in Cuba, where it appears that Cuba has frozen over.
It's been a cold one here tonight, Phyllis. Let's take a look at what caused these catastrophic events to occur. Here, in Cuba, we've undergone new leadership. Although he was not anti-U.S. from the start, it's been revealed that Castro was taught from a Marxist background at the University of Havana. Castro soon began the tactic of collectivization, confiscating U.S. land. The Cubans saw this as a good opportunity and decided to act on it. However, this decision has proven to be a costly one. Now, back to you guys in the studio for more on the international causes.
We did not exactly trust Castro, and were very skeptical, especially during this nuclear age. Then we find out that Cuba accepted missiles from the USSR. Needless to say, our government was scared for our national security and worried about the spread of communist governments. There were also economic impacts, which Phyllis will discuss. Phyllis?
It was obvious that Cuba's economy depended on us, Philip, especially regarding the sugar industry. Then, chaos erupted when Eisenhower cut sugar quotas by 95%. Tension between these two countries was unbearable and would have to be dealt with in the near future.
And we continue to stream the live discussion from the floor of the UN conference room as Ambassador Stevenson makes a stunning scene for the people of the free world. Referring now to the physical evidence in the form of images taken from a U-2 spy plane. He has so far denied continuing his appeal until he receives a direct response to a simple yes or no question he proposed to the ambassador of the USSR. He appears to be pointing out the very mechanisms of a missile site construction. This is a truly momentous event in the history of the United Nations.
This just in, President Kennedy is making an important announcement from the White House regarding what appears to be immediate ballistic threat to the United States from Cuba. It appears, according to the official press release, that the USSR has been, in recent months, providing Cuban government with soldiers and workers to help arm them with MRBM and IRBM weapons. If allowed to continue, the Cuban government, at the whims of Castro himself, will have the capabilities of striking more than 95% of mainland United States, with the small exception being only a small part of Washington state. Phyllis, it appears...
And now, only a short period of time after the discovery of the missiles, the United States government has decided to take direct action against both the Soviets and the Cuban government, instituting a quarantine policy that will prevent any and all Soviet ships from reaching the Cuban coast. Also, diplomatic discussions at the UN continue to degrade in both tone and rhetoric. In other news, the USSR has...
It appears that Khrushchev has finally conceded and chosen to remove the Soviet presence, both in terms of men and munitions, from the Cuban nation. This humiliated Khrushchev and contributed to his fall of power. From the United States' point of view, this event has shown how truly fragile the United States' security really is. The event also ended with Cuba dependent on the USSR economically. From an international perspective, a hotline was created that allows immediate contact between the USSR and the USA. Back to you, Phyllis.
Thanks, Jerry. Now we are accepting phone calls to see what other people's opinions are. Hello, tell us your name and what your view is on this subject.
My name is Carol Craig, and I believe that this crisis in Cuba allowed world peace to be preserved.
Very interesting analysis, Philip. Next caller.
Hello, my name is Katie. I believe that the war did not even affect the nuclear power, as well as the war having no victor. This also caused the USA to increase their activity in Vietnam, and...
Katie, I'm gonna stop you right there. You're completely wrong, so just get off my phone!
I'm here with Cristo, native Cuba. He left Cuba for the United States after Fidel took power, and he was part of the invasion of the Bay of Pigs. Can you tell us about your experience?
Well, after Castro took over, I knew that I had to get out of there, so I left for the U.S. as soon as I could, before the Castro shut down transportation before Cuba to the U.S. A while later, I heard that Cuban exiles were being trained for an invasion by the U.S. government. I wanted to fight back to help my country, but I knew we wouldn't have a chance without the help of the U.S., so I took that chance and went with the other exiles in the invasion.
Can you tell us what happened?
We went for it. We had to after all the time we put in, but we really didn't have a chance. We were fighting for Cuba, but it really didn't feel like it. It felt like more like a war between the United States and the Soviet Union than a fight to save Cuba.
All right, cracker fool, let's go.
And before Batista was president... Dang it.
Okay.
What?
Rob's smiling over there.
Rob!
I couldn't help it, I was biting my tongue.
Let's go.
Just stop making me
Yeah, you're fine right there.
Joe was Batista, and before...
Yeah.
What is that noise?
That was our toilet. Stop. I couldn't see anymore.
Okay, Rob.
Restart.
Batiste, well, for it.
Can you read?
Here's Jerry live in... Dang it.
Okay, I can't do it.
We're gonna get you the Barbie headset. I have that.
This meal... God. Getting U.S. land holdings. Land... What?
Epic shot.
Amen. And then she said that grade is gonna be probably Muslim because all the people in Africa are Muslim.
I think
Yeah,
Greg was
Greg had
grading
her
it.
paper. Oh my god.
It was
it
bad.
terrible? I'm gonna grade this paper so hard because that's how the IB examiner is gonna do it. So hard.
Grade you really hard.
It's like a real newscaster. Let me move my happy thoughts. I wasn't sure and I didn't want to stop to look again. God. We did not exactly trust Castro. We did not exactly trust.
We did not exactly not trust that.
This doesn't work. Can we just do her?
I think.
We're gonna get one of those made.
I saw it.
Ready?
You get married?
Yeah.
Ready?
Hey, guess what?
had so many fear in the intestines.
Why did we pick Rob as our music?
I don't know.
Give me the duct tape.
Katie, I'm gonna stop you right there.
Come on.
It was so good.
That was the only emotion I seen him show. Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, Rob?
Yeah.
It's really good. I just don't know like what literary feature we want to do. We could do rhetorical
No,
questions.
no. This passage is terrible, Pranay.
Uh-huh.
This passage is terrible. I hate it.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, not at all. It is terrible. Wait, no, Pranay, stop. Are you still there?
Oh, you were kidding?
This isn't even Rob.
Oh.
Wait, who is it?
This is Nate. Okay. I was kidding about everything I said. Rob's not here at the moment. When he comes back down, I'll have him talk to you. And just so you know, you're being recorded right now.
It's
Pranay.
Hey, Pranay. Did you call me or did they call you?